Imagine giving your emotional DNA to someone who will use it to hurt the next person they meet. This isn't just about moving on. It's about realizing you may have unknowingly trained them. You helped optimize their future abuse. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I know these discussions are heavy, but we need to talk about something uncomfortable today. Here's the shocking truth. Your pain might become the foundation for the narcissist's next success, their next perfect supply. It's hard to hear, but understanding this mechanism is absolutely crucial for your long-term healing and freedom from their cyclical abuse patterns and stopping the cycle of victim creation entirely. We need to understand that for the narcissist, every relationship is a training ground, and every breakup is a performance review. They are not feeling remorse. They are analyzing everything, what worked, and more importantly, what failed, all to maintain control over you. They treat you like a rehearsal for a play, looking for the flaws in their performance. The narcissist's main goal is supply, admiration, attention, even negative reactions, anything that feeds their fragile ego. When you are their primary source, they learn your unique vulnerabilities, your triggers, and the exact sequence of buttons they must push to get the desired emotional output. When the discard phase happens, or even during periods of triangulation, the narcissist isn't simply moving on, they are testing their arsenal. Your reaction gives them data. That data becomes fuel. Fuel for their next love-bombing phase, and it becomes more effective every time. Think about it. They attempted a certain devaluation strategy on you. If you reacted by trying harder to please them, they logged that as successful behavior and will apply it immediately to the new person. If you tried to set a boundary and they pushed past it successfully, they learned that boundary erosion technique works flawlessly. Every time you break no contact, something happens. You are unwittingly giving them a masterclass. You are the instructor, and they are the student, documenting every way to hurt you better. They learn exactly what to exploit next time. You are showing them where the weaknesses are in your armor, and they are documenting it for future use against a more unsuspecting, fresh source. That's the insidious nature of trauma bonding. It doesn't just keep you chained. It keeps you emotionally invested. You stay part of their process. You might spend months trying to prove your worth, trying to win back the idealized version of them they presented initially, but all you are doing is polishing their public facade. You are refining their manipulation tactics, ensuring that their next grand performance of affection will be utterly convincing. They observe what worked to pull you back from the brink of leaving, and they package that up neatly to use on the new supply when they start questioning the relationship's reality. Imagine the narcissist keeps trying to hoover you back with specific promises, a vacation, a big gift, or an apology that sounds believable but lacks real emotion. If you accept the gift but then push them away again, they learn that the gift is losing its power over you. They'll switch to emotional blackmail instead. When they move on to the new supply, they don't start from scratch. They start from the perfected script they wrote based on your emotional investment. The intensity of the love bombing often increases because they learned from you exactly which fantasy elements are most compelling and irresistible. The heartbreaking realization here is that the better you were, the more empathetic, kind, and forgiving you were, the more powerful the tools you handed over to the narcissist. Your deep capacity for love was studied, categorized, and weaponized for their future endeavors. They didn't just hurt you, they studied you. They analyzed your emotions, your reactions, and your pain like valuable data. Everything you went through became part of their perfected strategy. Your heartbreak is the blueprint for the new supply's disaster. And what happened to you becomes the foundation for what they will do next. Now, let's talk specifically about boundaries. When you set a boundary, they test it. They cross the line, and if you respond, they learn something. Boundaries are not rules to them, they are suggestions. They learned that a minor violation is tolerable. When they transition to the new supply, they will immediately test boundaries because they have practiced this erosion technique on you. They will confidently push limits, knowing precisely how to apologize just enough to re-establish control without losing the supply entirely. This cycle is why true, radical no contact is not just a self-care measure, it's an act of moral integrity. Every time you refuse to engage, refuse to offer closure, or refuse to react, you are starving the narcissist of the data they desperately need to improve their strategy. If you don't react, if you are a blank slate, they cannot learn what works. They are forced to rely on outdated, less effective methods. This makes it slightly harder, though still terrible, for the new supply. But critically, it allows you to truly disconnect from their narrative. Many victims stay engaged post-breakup, believing they can achieve true accountability or make the narcissist see the damage they caused. This is a trap. Any emotional energy you expend trying to force introspection is seen only as a continued, valuable source of supply. The moment you seek closure, you reveal that the trauma bond is still intact. You show them where the emotional connection still exists, and they mark that spot for future potential hoovers. It's like leaving a tracking beacon on your soul that they can ping whenever they need a quick ego boost. Remember the hoovering attempt? They usually try to return when their current supply is faltering or when their self-esteem takes a significant hit. If you respond to their pity plea or their vague apology, you confirm to them that you are the reliable fallback source. By accepting the hoover, even just for one conversation, you confirm that their method of returning, the specific words they used, the tone, the timing, is successful. This successful strategy then becomes a guaranteed play they will use on the next person when things get rocky. This phenomenon is why narcissists seem to become better or more stable with their subsequent partners, at least initially. They aren't healed. They've simply perfected the disguise and the love bombing based on the lessons learned from the chaos they created with you. The new supply gets the benefit of a highly polished facade, a character development refined through your suffering. They are receiving a masterfully edited version of the narcissist who knows exactly how to avoid the pitfalls that caused you to eventually leave. Here is the turning point. You have power. You can stop being their life coach. Your healing begins the moment you choose peace over closure. You must accept that the lessons they learned from you are now out of your control, but your future reactions are entirely within your power. True recovery means shutting down the school entirely, closing the emotional lab, and refusing to provide any further data points. If you are struggling with the urge to reach out, remember this. Every text, every phone call, every attempt to negotiate terms is simply sharpening the weapon for their next victim. Your silence is your ultimate power and protection, and it is the only true roadblock you can erect. This isn't about blaming yourself for the narcissist's behavior. It's about acknowledging the reality of how these toxic dynamics work so you can prioritize your self-preservation. Your empathy was exploited, but now you can use this awareness as your ultimate shield. By committing to strict no contact, you are not just healing yourself. You are ensuring that the narcissist is starved of vital information, forcing them to rely on less effective, outdated tactics, perhaps speeding up the failure of their next relationship. Take back your power. Reclaim the energy you spent trying to fix them or prove your loyalty. Invest that incredible depth of empathy and kindness back into yourself, the person who truly deserves it, and recognize that you are stronger now because you survived their training camp. If this resonated with you, tell me in the comments. Have you experienced this behavior? Hit like if this helped you. Subscribe to join our community, and share this with someone who needs it. See you in the next video.